Yeah, the issue that is at hand currently and vociferously and vehemently discussed in the country regarding whether the elderly and the poor will get the grants come the 1st of April. I think from a church point of view and from a societal point of view, we need to look at it from the context that the elderly and the poor have always been part of society and part of us from time immemorial. And when we understand that, we're not going to be schizophrenic about this, and we will look at it with sense, with maturity, and with understanding. And we need also to understand that the duty of care for the elderly and the poor remains with society. And until society takes the responsibility for duty of care, this important feature of the society will be subverted and will be diverted for wrongful reasons. And the debate around whether people will get their grants and for the elderly and the poor, we need to understand that until it goes back into the society and until it goes back to the mandate that God has given, because He is the creator of all things. The Bible is very clear that the earth and the fullness thereof is the Lord. And therefore, even the elderly, the poor are in God's plan and in God's mind. And therefore, it is the church which has the word, which has the mandate, which has the power, which has the wisdom that comes from God, that needs to take leadership in this area. And we need to wrest it out of the hands of those that has an ulterior motive in the whole question of grants. And unless we understand that as a church, will forever be in the hands of evil people. My observation and my perception in this whole area is that unfortunately in South Africa, the whole question of the poor and the elderly people has been hijacked by political agenda. And the duty of care can never be a political agenda of one political party. And if we allow that to happen, the problem is it becomes a political capital for a particular party that has taken that. And because it's a political capital, they will do as they please with the whole question of assisting and being of help and supporting the elderly and the poor. As it is currently, it is evident that the duty of care has been hijacked by a political agenda. And they are using the elderly and the poor as human shields. And human shield to hide their own corrupt political agenda. It is clear that this important function of the community has been hijacked to enrich a few within the political structures. Whilst we know as a church that in the book of Proverbs 22 verse 16, God has made it very, very clear that the elderly and the poor should never be used for personal gain and for personal enrichment. And here it is clear that systems, governance systems in the country are being subverted. Procurement systems are being subverted so that the few are enriched and they gain wealth in means and methods that are ungodly. That's the reason the church must rise. One of the things we must do as a church, which is very, very important, is that we must teach society, people that comes in our churches, we need to teach them, they need to understand that duty of care is not a political program and can never be a political capital. Pastors, the fivefold ministry, need to take lead in educating the community, that the community must understand. If the community don't understand it, they will not fight for their rights. Just as we speak today, people in South Africa are silent. We're all helplessly waiting for a political party to bring solutions. Solutions are not in the political party, but solutions are in God. So we need to teach. We need to go the street corners. Everywhere we have an opportunity, we need to teach and transform the thinking, the mind of the people, that they understand that the duty of care belongs to God, as mandated by the society and as led by the church. That's why the church needs to take responsibility of this. I personally think and believe that in our country, we also need as a church not only to educate, but also to pray for those leadership, the remnant of leadership that is remaining in the country, that is seeking to do the good thing in the country, that is seeking to do the right thing in the country. And one such remnant of leadership is the Ministry of Finance. I challenge the church to rally around the Ministry of Finance and pray for the finance minister, because it is the finance minister who is standing as the vanguard of righteousness and justice in the country. He's the one that insists that all the procurement processes are followed, that this country is not thrown in the precipice of economic disaster, because those that are using human shield will throw this country in human disaster. Unless the church stands, rise, teach, and pray, and speak without fear, this country will go down as a failure in history. May God bless you.